Spark Books here. Today, I'm going to explain the book, I Is Another, by James Geary. Take care, enjoy the book, and have a nice day. I Is Another demonstrates that metaphor is not just a literary tool but a fundamental way we have of discovering and making sense of the world. The author shows various ways in which metaphors are used in diverse fields, such as politics, economics, psychology, science, business and more. Key idea number 1. Metaphor helps us understand the world. Life is a roller coaster. America is a melting pot, and Juliet is the sun, said Romeo. These expressions are metaphors, comparing one thing to another. Shakespeare and other poets use metaphor, but its use extends beyond literature. We understand the world through metaphor. It happens every 10 to 25 words, or 6 times each minute, in writing and speech. Aristotle defined metaphor as giving the object a name that pertains to something else. The author added similes and other unexpected comparisons to this term. Metaphors can help us explain new, unnamed sensations. An adolescent who falls in love for the first time may call it a breath of fresh air or a bolt of lightning. Metaphor is vital for communicating complex meanings in many domains. When technology fails, we say it acts strange like a person. Meteorologists remark it's raining cats and dogs or that the city is in a heat grip, and scientists employ familiar pictures to explain physical concepts like plant cell walls. If you thought metaphor was dead after high school English, think again. Metaphor helps us interpret our daily events. Key idea number 2. Metaphor enriches body language. Have you ever ignored someone or thumbed up? Our physical motions often use metaphor. Metaphors are not only linguistic descriptions. Physical movements like posture combine metaphor and body to express emotion. This combination helps people understand us. Uncrossed arms and a straight back indicate receptivity and seriousness, while crossed arms and slouching indicate boredom. These motions reflect if our speech is authentic or not and influence our communication with others. Metaphor connects body and mind when verbal and visual cues affect behavior. One study indicated that people leaned forward when addressing the future is ahead of us, and back when discussing the past is behind us. Visual, verbal, or metaphorical priming changes behavior. In another study, people read texts using metaphors for speed. Work is a fast-paced environment. Faster than slowness, progress was reached at a snail's pace. Metaphor connects words and intentions to our bodies. Many notions, like proximity, demonstrate this. Why do we call some people close friends? Intimacy can be physical or emotional. We call our loved ones close pals. Verbal and non-verbal metaphors connect mind and body. Key idea number 3. Metaphors shape our behavior and enable discovery. How do we relate to others? Metaphor unites body and mind, teaching us how to behave and shaping our worldview. Metaphors shape our actions. Lawley and Tompkins used metaphor to help a client change his toxic professional relationships. Work is war was the client's viewpoint after a few sessions. Unfortunately, he saw people as competitors and refused feedback. Lawley and Tompkins did what? Their client's metaphor shifted. They succeeded by using the metaphor work is performing in an orchestra to help their customer cooperate more and improve his performance. Thus, metaphors expose our worldview and influence our actions. When words fail, metaphors can describe new scientific discoveries. In the early 1900s, the atom was discovered and explored. This unfamiliar particle was described using metaphor. Scientists realized the atom resembled the solar system, with the nucleus as a star and electrons as orbiting planets. This concept replaced the plum pudding metaphor, in which negatively charged electrons were the raisins in the positively charged pudding of an atom. Electrons migrate about the nucleus, proving that the proof was not in the pudding. Key idea number 4. Metaphors help economists deceive investors. Economists use metaphors to tell us stocks are rising or falling and the market may crash. However, metaphors must be understood before we can understand economists' techniques. In literature, metaphors illuminate complex emotions. In economics, they confound. Metaphors inspire financial investment. Both ways. Living things have age and intent. The market fought its way upward, say economists. During market slumps, object metaphors emphasize passivity and external control. For example, the market collapsed like a brick. Why? Economists utilize agent metaphors to make it sound like the market is improving on its own and wants to keep improving. Object analogies suggest that a declining market is a helpless victim of external events and will recover when they alter. Economists try to convince investors to invest regardless of market trends. They support a developing, dynamic market or soften the pain of a passive, suffering market following a crash. More, expectancy bias occurs when people see agent or object analogies and expect a tendency to continue, even if it doesn't. People anticipate the market to behave the same way when agent or object metaphors are utilized, since our brains are always recognizing patterns. Metaphor makes patterns evident and convinces individuals of non-existent patterns, which affects their behavior. For example, the market will continue to soar higher. In literature, metaphors illuminate complex emotions. In economics, they confound. Key idea number 5. Politicians always use metaphors. Politics uses metaphors too. All politicians utilize metaphor to persuade voters. Thus, recognizing and reflecting on their metaphors is crucial. Politicians utilize metaphors to elicit subconscious responses from their audiences. Psychologist Thomas Gilovich found this suggestive power. He asked 3 Stanford student groups to imagine themselves as high-ranking U.S. officials and respond to 3 scenarios. In all 3 scenarios, a small nation requested U.S. assistance after being attacked by a larger, more powerful nation. The first scenario alluded to the relatively popular World War II intervention, the second to the unpopular Vietnam War intervention, and the third to a historically neutral situation. The groups behaved differently depending on historical and political context. World War II references increased student participation, while Vietnam War references decreased it. The historically neutral group discussed longer. Thus, political imagery can sway us. Politicians use metaphors to manipulate us. Politicians utilize the country as body metaphor, which refers to physical health, to address infection by foreign agents while discussing immigration. The country as body metaphor can sharpen immigration views. Key idea number 6. Scientists and psychologists use metaphors. Metaphors can clarify scientific concepts and make horrific events simpler to explain, despite their controversial application in politics and finance. Metaphors describe science. Science begins with a hypothesis, which is metaphorically described until proven. According to continental drift, all continents were once united and drifted away. Scientists compared the Earth to rice pudding, hard on top yet fluid underneath. The metaphor helps us grasp something we've never experienced, not prove the idea. Metaphors help psychologists describe emotionally challenging topics. Psychotherapist David Grove created the clean language treatment for post-traumatic stress disorder patients. Grove responded with metaphors because his patients used them. Grove asked, "What type of bomb?" If a patient called himself a ticking time bomb. What else is ticking? Staying in metaphors, he wanted to comprehend their ailments as they did and improve their circumstances by modifying their metaphors. Key idea number 7. Metaphors can inspire commercial and technical innovations. Metaphors can illuminate difficulties from new angles. Thus, they help solve complex business issues and develop new technologies. Synetics World is an innovation consultancy. A health insurance company wanted to know why customers were dropping coverage. Insurance businesses were seen as leeches that drew money from customers, the company found. Synetics World suggested new metaphors, such as health insurance as a safety net. The insurance business solved its difficulty using metaphors. Metaphors can inspire creativity by showing how various fields solve the same problem. Biomimicry, which solves human issues by mimicking nature, is a good example. Barnacles and other marine life on ship hulls reduced fuel efficiency and cost the shipping industry millions of dollars. Scientists investigated why sharks did not have the same issue. A shark skin-inspired material was created. This cut ship weight and drag, saving money and speeding shipping. Key idea number 8. Metaphors also persuade advertisers. Ads are everywhere. Metaphors are used to sell everything from banjos to cereal. Advertising uses metaphors by personifying inanimate items. Customers should identify with products to buy them. An advertiser gives a product a nose, mouth, and eyes and makes it talk to customers. This gives the product a personality. Identifying with a character in the ad is another technique. Sports vehicle ads usually feature a beautiful driver. The advertiser wants you to identify with the driver, believing that if you bought that automobile, you could be as attractive and successful as them. Ads also use recognizable metaphors. Metaphors allow advertisers to give their products meanings and connotations that have nothing to do with them. If you've ever seen a breakfast cereal ad on TV, you'll see a happy family gathered around a perfectly set breakfast table to start the day. Ads like this make people equate familial pleasure with the product, even though every sensible person knows that a bowl of sugary grains and milk doesn't provide that. Key idea number 9. Children develop metaphorically. You've seen how metaphors are used to explain things we can't name, like spaceships or flying saucers. Young children are continually in this scenario as they struggle to understand and describe the unlimited variety of new objects they meet. Metaphors are essential to infant development. According to psychologist Alan Leslie, children begin to form their worldview through play from 12 to 14 months. They pretend that bananas are phones, for instance. This may seem like play, but it helps children connect knowledge about two objects. These linkages aid children's language development. The author's son called the sun a huge sky lamp. Studies reveal that infants can only understand physical analogies. Preschoolers saw a cold person as someone who wasn't dressed warmly, not unfriendly. Only children over 10 can blend physical and mental pictures. Children often mistakenly use pre-existing analogies. The author's daughter placed her doll on flowers and said it was sleeping on a flower bed, ignorant of the gardening metaphor. Children develop more complex metaphors to make sense of the world as they grow older. Metaphor is used in literature, politics, economics, and advertising. It shapes our thoughts and helps us define new things when words fail. To view more content like this, subscribe. Don't forget to like and turn on notifications. The channel really benefits from it. I appreciate you being here.